Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you are returning, if you are new, welcome. So in this video, I am going to show you how I made this gatefold card for my wedding invitations. So in my last video, I showed you how I put my invitations together. This is my daughter, so it's all falling apart, but I showed you how I put my invitations together. So now I'm going to show you how I made this little gatefold card to put everything in, right? So let's get started. So this is what I'm using. I'm using this Vellum, and I actually purchased this from Michael's. It's the Recollections brand. It's 40 sheets to a pack, and I think it's $6.99, but when I got it, it was buy one get one free. So I have that, and this is one right here. I already took out the pack. I also have this We Are Memory Keepers paper cutter, or whatever you call it, and then I have this that came with it. This is what I'm going to use to score my vellum with. And you don't have to use vellum. You can use any kind of cardstock. You can use anything that you choose. This is what I'm choosing to use, right? So how I actually got my measurement was initially I just because I knew I wanted it to like fold over all the way on one side and then just fold over a little bit on the other side. So I just folded my paper like that, and I marked it, and then I got it to where, you know, I just did my measurements like that. So it'll all be consistent. So as you can see, I already have tape right here. So I put the tape right here because I did a lot. So this is my cut mark. This is how much I'm cutting off. So I have my tape at 1 3/4 inches. So that's how much I'm cutting off from the 11-inch side. This is 8.5 by 11 paper, and on this 11-inch side, I'm cutting off 1 3/4 inches, right? So let's go ahead and get started. First, I need to flip this around so I can score it first. I don't want to get cut with that thing. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to press too hard when you're scoring, because it will like rip this paper. It's fairly thin, right? So all right, so for my score marks for the size that I'm using for my invitation, and my invitation is actually that's 6.5. It's like 4.5 by 6.5, right? So it was supposed to initially be like 5 by 7, I think. I don't know. I think that was the actual measurement for it, but it's 4.5 by 6.5. So these are the measurements that I use for my card to fit my. These are the measurements I use for my gatefold card to fit my 4.5 by 6.5 invitation, right? So I'm gonna make my first score mark at 1.5. So I'm just gonna take this little thing. I don't even know what you call this thing. So I'm just gonna do it at 1.5, like so. That's the first one. And the second one I'm going to do at 6.5. So I'm just going to take this little thing again and go all the way down 6.5, right? So now it looks like this. I don't know if y'all can see my score marks. I got one here, one here. All right. So then I'm going to flip this back around so I can cut what I need to cut, right? And again, I said I was cutting 1 3/4. So I have my tape here already to mark that, so I can make sure I line it up in the same spot every time. So I'm just going to cut that off like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it over on those score marks that I made. Just fold it over, take my bone folder. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. And just press it down like that. And voila, you have a card, a gatefold card, right? Now, now I have this excess piece. So what I did with my invitations, I used a piece of ribbon around it, but you could use this. If you choose to use vellum when you're doing this, you could definitely use this, right? Because it fits right on there. It's a perfect fit. It fit right on there. So you could always use that, and that way you're not wasting anything. All right. So, that's how I did that. So y'all have a great one. Until the next time. Peace.